Okay.
First clap.
This is The Human Now, and today's title is Feeling Sexy, Feeling Confident. Take one. Is that right?
Yeah.
On the 21st of
Oh,
November.
21st of November, 2018.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
All right. Russian? Hello and welcome to The Human Now, where we are discussing ideas around what it means to be in this state of time. My name is Akash, and today I'm joined by Rachna, Akshita, and Vanesha.
Ciao.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
It's the first time. Oh, welcome back, Rash.
Thank
And this is the first time we're having Akshi and Van
Yes.
on the
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And in true Human Now fashion, we'll, if you guys want to tell us, are you guys folders or scrunches?
I dance for it too. He's not joking.
Folders. I'm a folder. I would. Yeah, you. What do you think?
Yeah, you're a folder.
Yeah, I reckon I am. What do you think you are?
I missed it.
Yeah, I think she's a scruncher.
Scruncher?
Knowing Vanesha, she's
I'm
definitely-
both.
Oh, that's nice, because we've only ever had folders or scrunches, so we've never had like a...
What are you talking about?
I don't
Okay,
know.
so- You don't know what we're talking about.
No, I'm just like going by like what I think it means.
What do you think it means?
Like your personality, like are you kind of a bit like OCD and everything has to be folded and put away nice?
Van, what do you think it is?
I have no idea.
Clothes?
Like maybe you fold your ideas.
This is so interesting. Eh?
No, now I'm thinking my interpretation is wrong.
Wait, what's your interpretation?
Toilet paper.
Yeah. Toilet paper.
Fold. I like the feel.
So the reason why I ask it is just it's a nice way just to break the ice, and like straight away you've just like taken it to that very personal level, and everyone knows like, yeah, sure,
Who is a scruncher?
Minish, I think.
Kids.
Yeah, Raghav. Yeah.
We're not allowed to say names.
Oh, sorry.
No,
my son, Raghav.
yeah. I think with your own kid you're allowed to.
Yeah, I think it was Minish, and maybe even either BG or Rahul. One of them.
No,
said
but
that
I
they
should
were.
fold. Really?
You're not allowed to say names.
But also, I was gonna say, Rusha, we should just keep a tally, so like we know how many folders and scratches. It's just interesting.
And then you can do one of those
Just what
chalk.
it is.
Like,
Yeah.
If it's stroke marks, like on a blackboard, that'd be cool.
That was funny.
And both?
We have to make a new column for Van. Just Van.
People are going to think we're high, but go on.
So, how are you guys feeling after that?
Hot. Very giggly.
Yeah.
Flustered.
Just normal how I am with these girls, like giggly and laughy.
That's good. Nice energy. How's everyone's week been so far?
Yeah.
Good.
Same.
Yeah, actually, Van.
It's been magical, awesome, wonderful.
Actually,
Yeah, it's been good. We just
Yep.
did like a really cool workshop, and so I'm just being sore
Oh.
and tired, but it was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
has to laugh still, so.
But it's been good.
yeah. So today's conversation stems from my experience at the workshop. So just to fill everyone in, Indians held a dance workshop held by Swarali Karuka. Swarali Garuka.
Yeah,
Got it.
Call it
All right, we call her Swara.
yeah, we
Right.
call it sweater.
She's a dance therapist from America, and she came here and she taught 2 workshops in Bollywood heels and Bollywood items. And so what she is about is she's just about really connecting to the self and being confident with who you are in your skin, and really not worrying or not caring about what anyone, not being scared of being judged, just in that session. So she takes was it like an hour-long session, maybe? Hour and a half session, right? And in that session, all she wants you to take away is that you don't need to worry about who's watching, and that feel free and be free to express and be who you are. And so I didn't participate, but I watched, and I think something that was really I had quite a moving experience, because there's this notion or the stigma around women and the way they have to or are the way that society communicates certain ideas around feeling confident or being sexy, and she just fully busted them. She was she was getting you guys to get on the mirror and shake your bum and feel get really close, feel other people's bodies and things like that. And for me watching, it was just at first it was okay, wait, do I look, and this is kind of awkward, and then after that it was wait, no, why isn't this normal? Isn't this how it should be? And so yeah, that's what I thought today's discussion could be around, body confidence, or that self-confidence, that self-esteem, or the way that society, the way we've maybe been brought up in our upbringing to see or understand the way that women, or the way women are meant to be, or just that feeling around self-confidence, self or body image, and this idea that it's to feel sexy or is considered to be taboo.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, did you guys ever feel like you were allowed to be sexy?
No.
Yeah, a little bit, but maybe because I wanted to be sexy. There was this want, I guess. I don't...
You can bring that closer to you.
I don't think... Yeah, no. I don't know. I guess in my experience in life, there's been phases where I've been felt amazingly sexy and confident, and because I was... because society told me that I was I was sexy and confident. But I guess right now in my life, especially after having a baby, and the way that I look now is not sexy, but in a different way, I feel way more confident in my body, because you kind of shed the layers of, oh, I'm sexy because of me, not because of it's like a light inside me. It's not because of, I look exactly like this actress, or I look exactly like, or I'm wearing some clothes that are on trend at the moment.
Yep.
So it's a feeling inside. The sexiness is a feeling inside, not an outside portrayal. At my point in life right now.
Right, and so
for me.
So you said for the way you were brought up, you were allowed to feel
Sexy.
that?
Yeah, and sometimes, yeah. I was very in touch with my sexuality. I was very wanting to explore it. Very whoa, this is so public.
Right.
But yeah, I felt, of course, the constraints of society were so no, you can't act this way, you can't do this way. But I did also have a sense of freedom where I felt like I could express that sexuality or be a little bit sexy. I didn't feel too confined, as I remember. But I was quite rebellious as a teenager.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
Actually?
I think Rachna and I grew up in a very conservative family.
Yeah.
How we were dressed and how we were kind of taught to
Yeah, we
behave
weren't even
and-
allowed to wear sleeveless in front of
Mm.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
And the first time we did, it was like boiling hot in Australia. And we're like, are we allowed to? And they actually was like, screw it, it's too hot. We're not going to wear this jumper.
I don't even remember that. But yeah, like we were just even scared of showing our shoulders.
Yeah, I was.
I felt
strapless
really
too.
shy. I remember the first time I was just so shy when I wore something like spaghetti straps. But why? Like,
Yeah.
you know, we didn't. It was just the way that you were brought up. So you were just, you didn't know anything else. You were
Yep.
just like, okay, this is how it is because that's how you were brought up. This is what your mum and dad or the people around you made you believe. That if you were like this, then you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like this, then you're bad, basically. And so you grew up like that. And it took a long time, I think, for Rachna and I, both of us, to understand that that's wrong.
Yeah.
More for me, it took me way longer
Yeah.
for me. Like I stood by those principles for far too long.
Yeah.
And also, not just myself, I try to make others follow it, which is worse. So for me, I'm publicly saying sorry to all the women I judged in the past, you know. Putting it out there.
And then I think myself as well, because I was like always chubby my whole life. So I was never confident anyway. So I wanted to cover up probably as well. It was only when I lost weight and I started feeling good about myself that I started wearing like sexier clothes or what I felt really good in. And I felt empowered. Like it didn't matter. Like I was like, okay, maybe sometimes confidence does start from the outside until you get into the inside, you know? So not only that, like it's just a message to everybody else that I can feel sexy about myself. It doesn't mean that I have to be portrayed in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like I'm either way, I'm still like who I am. I'm still the same person. I'm still, well, people probably call me like a goody or whatever. Like we didn't really like explore like Vanesha did and stuff, you know, like we were just like your typical Indian girls. Like we didn't really do anything. And, but at the same time, if I could feel sexy and be sexy, and then people are like, okay, but she's still the same. So I was hoping that people would be like, okay, no, that then we can't judge her, right? Because she hasn't changed. All she's changed is her outside. It doesn't mean that she's changed on the inside. So like I want people to understand that that's okay, you know? And I think because running a dance school and you're in touch with so many girls, like we were never like, oh, you need to cover up or you need to do this or you never do that, you know? Like I just felt like that's sending a wrong message.
Yeah.
And again, it just goes back to as well very strongly onto like if something happens to a girl, it's because it's her fault, which is really, really wrong.
Yep.
It's so wrong. Like if she gets harassed or abused or whatever, it's like that is so wrong. It's like because she was
like,
wearing
'cause
that.
she was
that's
asking for it
Yeah.
just because of what she was wearing
And
and
I
what
think-
she's communicating.
Yeah. And if we start that here, if we start this thinking now that, oh, she's wearing this, so she's that.
Yep.
She's wearing this, or she's sexy, so that means she's like this. If we start that here now with the people around us, then that gives people or guys almost a reason, like I can use that because girls are saying it to each other anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a sense of false sisterhood these days where like a lot of friends aren't really friends. They'll talk about each other behind their backs, that excessively judge them, especially when you're younger, but even I think even continuing now into our 30s, we find real true friendships that really see the essence in you and the sexiness in you, you know, like and love that and encourage that. These days it's like, well, you know, like I don't want to see you successful, I don't want to see you sexy because it intimidates me, you know, or that's my experience anyway. But then isn't it also funny on the flip side, like many generations ago where we were living naked and you know, boobs out, penises out, and but it wasn't like a full-on erection orgy party all the time, was it? It was like this is just the normal.
It's the way we
you know,
are,
like
the way we've evolved.
yeah, like so why have our bodies also become so sexualized? You know, and like just wearing a sleeveless top. Why does that spark so much tension?
Yeah. And I
some
think,
people.
I mean, like, not saying that our parents were wrong, but I think for them it was a safety thing.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
it
more
was
about
like
what
to
would people
protect us.
Yeah.
No, I think it was
well.
like a protection thing. Like, we don't want our girls on show in case something happens to them.
Yeah, for like that too. some things now I look back at it and now I find really weird. Like before, if mum told me to, like, I wasn't allowed to lie on my stomach and watch TV with the family around because you might see down your top. It's the most awkwardest thing. Like to think that someone in your family might be thinking that way of you now that you think about it.
That's true.
And or like just examples of examples of what would people think. It's like a lot of times mum or dad will be okay with me doing something, but they didn't want me to because of outsiders found out. Then they'll be like, oh, but what would they think?
Yeah.
Like say, main reason why we got married so early, right? We can finally just go on holiday with our partners alone together. And we weren't allowed to do that. It was fine to do that, but people found out it's a no-no.
Like they were actually okay with it.
Yeah.
But not just with other people finding out.
Yeah. that kind of thing.
Stupid.
It's just, and people always ask like, wow, we were so young when we got married. I'm like, yeah, that's like so many ways. Life started after that, freedom to do like whatever you wanted. Yeah.
I think even my experience and the way I've been brought up, it has been like very traditional, and the same thing, the way I've experienced seeing what my sisters had to go through compared to what I was allowed to do. And it's such a big contrast. Like when we go to like our grandparents' house, they couldn't rock up in like singlet and shorts, and it was like okay for me to do that. Like how is this like okay?
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I think just very recently I've like started to become conscious of all of this and started to understand it. And then like just this weekend, I think that was like really just kind of helped me to realize like this is actually something that's
there is this new awakening, I think, coming about of women, not so much feminism, but just embodying our divine feminine energy and owning it and using it for our own good rather than, being pushed down for so many generations as well. It's been pushed down, not only by men, but by other women. So there is this like conscious lifting of...
Like, like I feel like now people don't hopefully have to be two different things, like at home they can just wear whatever, and if they go to a family function they got to cover up. Oh, if I need to go to something like this, then I can wear this. Okay, with some friends I can wear this. It's like they have to be different people, but hopefully now they can just be what they want to be, wear what they want to be.
And even like in saying that now, like say with Smara's workshop, if like mum and dad were there, would you still be able to dance that freely for Bolly heels?
I think because Swara is so good, you didn't even second think it, right? She was just like, do it. Everyone did it.
Yeah.
I don't know what she did, but I was like not very conscious of it at all. It's just everyone was doing it. She didn't give anyone an option. The way she took the class, you don't have an option. Everyone do this move. Everyone did it, and everyone was doing it together. So it felt great. I wasn't thinking who's in the room and who's watching. She made you forget that.
That
That's
feeling
powerful.
though should be taken or could be taken in everyday life.
100%.
So that's what I was going to ask. So how do we do that?
I think conversations like this helps, but also getting more self-esteem and self-confidence in yourself. And certain situations in your life, either they create low self-confidence or that you can choose to create. You can build yourself up. So I guess every single situation in your life you can choose what you want to do here. Do you want to belittle yourself or do you want to raise yourself up? It's a choice. And then there's other tools and things that can help you gain more confidence, like dance and meditation, lots of other, so many tools, that people are accessible to. But also I think gaining friends that...
I was going to say that too.
The people that are around you, right?
Yeah. Make a massive difference.
Because one person's thought, like our parents or people especially who worried about what other people are thinking, is just they're taking on their thoughts as their own, as somebody else's thoughts as their own. They're not their own thoughts. Like your mother and father might have had completely different ideas, but if we start all thinking maybe a different way, then other people will also start thinking a different way. It starts with
Yeah,
one
or-
person.
Like, it would be cool for people to start adapting to all of that and not feeling that fear and like just, owning everything, just doing their own thing. But then you're always still like, even now, if people start doing that, you still have the other half who are going to be judging, spreading rumors,
Yeah.
talking behind the back, and that just in the end gets the person down. Then right?
Yeah, and then
And
there's also the tool of just being able to accept being judged. It's okay to be judged. People are going to judge you regardless.
That's true. No
You
matter
know?
what you do,
Yeah.
you can't please everyone.
Just
Right?
human
True.
To judge.
To judge.
We judge all the time, and so they do too. And so you just go
Well,
on
the good
with
thing
life.
about us is that we try not to. We try to now. We just try now that we're older and more mature. We try and just keep an open mind about everything. Be like, oh, okay, cool. But we worry more about ourselves rather than others.
Yeah, that's right.
But I guess we've seen so many other people, especially the older generation, people even our own age, going the opposite way, talking about others and putting others down, that we just don't want to be that way.
I think like what you're talking about, how do we start doing that? I think is like who you surround yourself with is really, really important.
Yeah.
It was funny, like just today I was talking to a girl and she was like, oh, I'm not really friends with this person anymore. And I was like, oh, why is that? And it was a guy friend. And she was like, he was always making comments. And first I thought it was a joke and I thought it was funny and I'd laugh along. And but it was things like, oh, should you really be eating that? Things like that. And she'll take it as a joke. And she's like, it's just taken me some time to realize that actually these are not jokes. This is actually really mean and hurtful.
Yeah.
So it's just that going through and actually cleansing yourself like of the people around you. These people who are pushing the idea that you need to look like this
Yep.
or look a certain way.
Yeah.
So just stuff like that I think is really, really important. People who focus on like I don't think we often talk about ourselves physically a lot, like unless we're joking about something about post-baby stuff, but we talk about our qualities a lot, like your quality of this, your nature of this, or the way you do this. There was a point I remember we'd be like, oh, Rachna, we love your long legs. Oh, Vanesha, we love your this. Oh, actually, you're great this. And it was very like, I remember that so clearly when we were younger, talking about that. Like we'd talk more about our physical traits.
Yeah.
And I feel like now we talk less about that and we talk more of our qualities or the qualities we want to attain. Or even like, oh, who cares about that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just go do it. Don't worry about it. And we kind of more on that line.
Yeah, like sexiness doesn't have to be about what you look like on your outside. It's totally what you feel on the inside. Like, but it's hard. Like it's very hard to be that way because, like when you don't look into yourself in the mirror and you are happy with what you see, then your low self-confidence will definitely be there. But it's every day, just being like feeling good with who you are.
And I think especially when you've been one way and you felt so good, you're like, oh my God, I feel so good, Like every day you wake up and you're like, I feel good.
Yeah.
You put on some nice clothes and every day you feel like you're just
But
I'm going to
then-
own this day,
yeah.
And then losing that is like, I find it personally because I've had struggle with like my body since I was a kid and I've had like issues, body image issues since I was little.
Same.
So like I struggle with it. Even now I can't say that I'm 100%, I feel sexy and stuff. I can't say that at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it and
I think
32.
every single woman, unless maybe you see those 50-year-old women who are totally, like really
Like
attuned
Halle
with
Berry.
themselves, and,
I was looking at quotes. There was this one that said, if every woman woke up and decided they were happy with the way they looked and were actually happy with it, think how many businesses would just go out of business.
It's
Wow.
so true.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
And now you can see the subtle messages in movies and things and TV shows and who's sponsoring that and like, how actresses should look. And I mean, I appreciate beauty and I totally love beautiful movies and things like that. But when it's portrayed in such a way that you will only be happy if you look like this, or you will only be happy if you have this Prince Charming, or because you look like that, or It's
But
bizarre.
we should be happy with now because actually we were just saying how we look back at photos of ourselves and we're like, oh look, we looked good here, and then she was saying, but at that point in time, I always thought I was fat.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm messed up in the head. I look back at old photos and I remember very clearly looking at myself when I looked like that. Back then, I can remember myself in my head thinking, I'm fat. It's just nuts. And I'm like, I look sick in that photo. And I'm just like,
You're like a size 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like,
It's
I don't know
really
what was wrong
crazy
with
weight.
me. Your
I don't
mind
know
is
if
like,
men have the same issue. Do you have the same issue with weight, or like, is it just a woman thing?